You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right, hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Phegley coming to you from the Dever Team Studios. This is Knightline at Night, brought to you by Chad Barlaw, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call at 407-599-9036 or visit protectingvets.com. You can call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. But we're taking your calls as well, 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326 to talk to us about UCF football. You can also use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. I got Big Ben Stout with me at Big Social 32 and Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter, and you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. It is exactly 4 days, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 52 seconds before UCF kicks off against Boise State. We're very excited about that. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys and gals that are listening. And this is obviously Knightline at Night, and we're going to talk about UCF football. So, are we excited yet?
It's game week, baby.
Wow, that's as excited as Ben gets.
I'm excited.
It is about as excited as he gets, though, but that's good. That's good. First of all, I just want to ask you guys, what's the one thing that you guys want to see right out of the bat? Like, what's the thing that you're expecting or are most excited about seeing or have an expectation of Thursday night?
Well, for me, it's Hank Bachmeier laying flat on the turf after our defensive line gets after him. That's what I'm expecting. I can't wait to see some hard-hitting football. It's been a while since our defensive line has played to what it could be, and with all the talent that we have out there and all the expectations and all the rumors we've been hearing out of camp, I can't wait to put him on the turf.
All righty.
I think for me, it's the progression of Dylan Gabriel. It's how is he going to be in his third year at UCF in this new offense, well, new to him, offense that Gus Malzahn and the rest of the offensive staff has installed. I mean, everyone is expecting big things out of him. So looking forward to seeing how he is going to take hold of this team, take hold of this offense, and really show us what we got with a big exclamation point to start the year.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got multiple things that I'm looking forward to. I guess the biggest thing for me is I'm looking forward to seeing a full stadium, first of all, because last year, the one game that I went to, there was nobody there. It was horrible. It was the Cincinnati game. It should have been packed. It should have been loud, and it wasn't. And it was honestly heartbreaking to look out into the stadium and see it the way that it was. So I know that everything is still kind of, going with coronavirus and all that stuff, but, I don't care anymore. I'm over it. I don't care. I got my vaccinations. I'm over it. And I want to see some football. I want to see some football. I want to see a packed stadium. I want to see everybody having fun, masks or not. I don't care. But that's what I want to see. I want to see my friends tailgating, and that's what I want to see.
Tailgating is another big thing for me. I'm really excited about getting out there Thursday night, having a good time in the afternoon, and tailgating with everybody, tailgating with you guys, and going in and enjoying the game with a packed house. I'm excited about that too.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's some things that I want to see in the game as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what our new defense looks like. I'm looking forward to seeing what our defensive line looks like, what our cornerbacks look like. The entire defense really is the thing that I'm interested in more than the offense. I'm also interested to see just what Gus Malzahn's offense is going to look like with the players that we have on offense, though, too. Obviously, to see what the actual scheme is going to look like compared to what we saw very, small glimpses of it in the spring. That's all that we've really seen with the UCF players, in Gus Malzahn's scheme. So looking forward to that right now. I'm looking at the pick center, and obviously UCF is still the favorite, 5.5. It was all the way from, it was 3.5, then it went to 4, then it went all the way to 6 and stayed for a while. Then it went back up to 4.5, and now it's 5.5. So I'm not sure what the huge swings were there, but we'll take it. 5.5 point favorite to win. And then, you guys know I love the ESPN matchup predictor. It's one of my favorite things according to the ESPN's football power index. I like to say power there because I said it 5 times.
Power.
But 76.1% chance for UCF, 23.9 for Boise. I know Boise is excited. And they're looking forward to playing in the bounce house. I can tell you that. Here's what Boise head coach, I don't even know what his name is, and it doesn't really matter. This is what he had to say, though. I think his name's Andy for some reason, but this is what he had to say on the matchup.
They've been very, very successful in the past few years and the things that they've been able to accomplish. And really that's what we're focused on is our opportunity to be able to compete and see all the things that we've learned and grown from, in this first game. And as we continue to do so throughout this week and using our opportunities to continue to prepare, that's really what we're focusing on is our growth every single day. We're not looking forward to the rest of the year. We're looking forward to handling our process, to make sure that we put ourselves in the best position possible for when that ball kicks at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Not too exciting.
Andy Avalos.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what his name is.
Wow.
Just like The Rock says, I'm glad you can use Google because it doesn't matter what his name is. Nobody's going to remember that. Anyway, yeah. Well,
I'm hoping we don't remember it.
I'm a little bit fired up. I'm ready to go. So,
Is your hair on fire?
Well, no, I don't have any hair, but I was just, I listened to the press conference. It was him and the coordinators and all that stuff that did a press conference that luckily we got a hold of and were able to see. It was on YouTube. And, it was the offensive coordinator was the most charismatic one. And I don't know what his name is either, but because it doesn't really matter. But, they said some interesting things. So a lot of talk about Gus Malzahn. And just facing a Gus Malzahn team because, those teams have been formidable opponents over the years. And I think this one will be even more of a formidable opponent for them. Their head coach, I believe, is a defensive coordinator at Oregon is where he came from.
Correct.
And I believe he used to play at Boise State. He used to play at Boise State, I believe. Yeah, so he's coming back to his home program. But yeah, you're right. He just came from Oregon as a defensive coordinator there.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, they started off their season against Auburn. So he's familiar with Gus Malzahn. They've played each other, in fact, in a season opener before is what I was getting to. So, they're well aware of each other and they kind of know what's going on. Obviously, their head coaches now instead of coordinators and blah, blah, blah. So, we'll see how that goes. Here's what Gus had to say on the prep for this was his opening statement. I think press conference was on Tuesday, which was kind of weird this week.
We officially started our game prep, game planning for Boise today. Scout teams, everything that goes with that. Had a good Tuesday practice as far as our routine goes. We'll have a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then next week we'll go another Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just being first game and everything that goes with that. But overall, it was good to start concentrating on another opponent and not ourselves. And you can tell our guys are excited about that.
I don't think he's going to be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices this week, though. So I think he might have been a little confused. Gus is getting up there in age, too, so you never know. Anyway, what else, guys? What are what else you want to talk about here besides that?
I was just going to quickly say, this is going to be – I think this is just going to be a really fun matchup. There is a lot of talent on both sides of the ball for both teams. Boise State does have a great receiving core. They got a talented quarterback in Hank Bachmeier that, as Roger has said numerous times, had a little trouble, staying on his feet last year because they had a lot of offensive line problems and he took a lot of sacks. But he certainly got the talent to run that offense. And so – with their new head coach coming from Oregon, I know he used to be a player at Boise State, but certainly used to being around a high octane offense. So I think this is going to be a game where a lot of offense is going to be flying around. We'll see some improvement on defense from both sides of the both teams, I should say, especially us with our new look defensive line and second year of our secondary that's really developed well, I think. So I'm just excited to see the talent on the field. I think there's going to be a lot of it, and Boise State's going to bring it, but we certainly have – I feel like we have an advantage when it comes to the amount of talent that we're going to put on the field, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, I can tell you this. Football has always been and will always be a game of the trenches, right? So when I look at that matchup, I was surprised by the 72% on the matchup predictor. But when I look at the two, we've got a solid offensive line that's coming back right now versus a solid Boise defense. They return, I think, 9 out of their 11 starters on a pretty good defense last year. But where we have the advantage is I think our defensive line kicks it up a notch, and their offensive line still is questionable. So if we can get that pressure on the front end, it helps out the back end of our defense, although there's been some good noise coming out about the defensive backs. But at the end of the day, if we can keep Hank Bachmeier on his back, I think it'll be a solid day for us. And honestly, it could be a rout.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I would say I hope it's going to be a rout, but Bachmeier did not do too good last year, to be honest with you. 96 of 156 for only 1,150 yards, 61.5%, average of 7.4, longest being 55, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, was sacked 12 times. Not the greatest job last year as far as that goes. Everybody played weird schedules and stuff like that last year too, so that could have something to do with it. But he, will probably be a little bit better than that, I would assume. So
hopefully he's not against us, but maybe this season overall.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, an extra year under the belt and everything else. I'm expecting, obviously, I can look up Dylan Gabriel's stats here. It's definitely a little...
He blew him out of the water.
A little different than that.
No doubt.
So I'm not worried about that. What are you guys worried about? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that yet because we have a break coming up here, and I wasn't watching the clock. So we will... not do that quite yet, but when we come back, we will start talking about, the things that we're a little bit worried about. We'll be back on Knightline at night and here in just a couple of minutes.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Nightline at Night. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law, talking UCF sports. It is now 4 days, 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 2 seconds before kickoff for UCF football. I'm not counting or anything. I'm just a little excited. So what are the things right before the break I started to ask a question? What were the things that you were still a little bit worried about for this game, or anticipating, looking at, I guess? Roger, what are you a little worried about still?
For me, I think not necessarily worried, but something I'll be keeping an eye on is how our running back situation looks now that we've had a little bit of attrition there. I mean, I'm not quote unquote worried about it, but I still am interested to say the least. And then linebackers and defensive backs. I mean, those are the two areas we've been harping on the whole time. I think we're okay in the safety positions. Our defensive line obviously is good. Our offensive line should be pretty good. So I have a lot of faith in our receivers and in Dylan. So those are the two areas that I'm most interested in watching.
All right, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say who's going to be our kicker and are they going to be consistent is something that I'm just looking out for, maybe a little bit worried about just because it's very unclear right now. But I also agree with Roger. I think the defensive back or specifically the cornerbacks, how are they going to match up with some talented receivers? Khalil Shakir is, if I pronounced that right, hopefully I did. He's certainly all conference performer at wide receiver last year for Boise State. So if the quarterback has a little bit of time to throw it and he involves Shakir, how is our still young secondary going to perform? And some of the newcomers, are they going to perform well? I think that's a matchup to look out for, as well as who's kicking the ball for us.
All right, that's good. No, I'm going to go with you as well on the kicker issue. I'm very concerned about that because that is a very important position, and we lost a game because of it last year, basically. So, very, very apprehensive, I guess, about that situation. And hopefully, big changes have been made there. Also, I would go with the wide receivers just because I'm a little bit worried about how they're meshing together, being a new group of wide receivers, except for, Flash, Johnny, or not Johnny, what's his name?
Jalen
Robinson. All right, yeah. So he's the only one that really we know a whole ton of about, so a little bit worried about him. And that's, those are or not about him, but about everybody else surrounding him. So those are my two things that I'm a bit concerned about. I'm not as concerned about with the running backs because I know that we have depth there. We have a ton of them, and there's got to be somebody in there that can run the ball. So,
Bowser.
Yeah, Bowser. I'm super excited to see him. I don't know if he can be an all-down back, though. So, being the size that he is and everything else, I mean, I'm sure that he's in shape and has gotten in shape. Boise's a little bit worried. I know about the weather down here. They're worried about the heat and everything for them and the humidity, especially because they don't have humidity out there. Good. Anything like, obviously, what we do. So that should help us out tremendously. And
yeah, I would imagine we might see some strategic cramping going on during the game again. So buckle your seats because we may see that again.
Yeah, and I guess that there's a new NCAA rule or something about that. Are you either one of you familiar with what they ruled on as far as the fake injuries go?
I don't know where they landed on it. I know that they were looking at a couple of different options. One was for a person to sit out for multiple for the full series, which I don't think they were going to do. They also had that person had to sit out for a play, basically keeping it what it is, and simply because their thought process was, how can you tell, or do you want to put your officials in that position where someone may actually be injured and they're penalizing someone? So it's a tough conversation because obviously, as we know from our pit game, people tend to fall down randomly when they look at the coach, and it just puts the refs in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to go out anyway once you're injured for a play. Alrighty, well, that was a short segment. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night. If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company. And they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. Call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. You can call us as well to talk to us about UCF sports. 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley. This is Knightline at Night. Got Big Ben Stout with me and Roger Phipps. You can find all the rest of our content on NightlineSports.com. We got a caller, Andrew from Oviedo, our good friend we haven't heard from in just a little while. Andrew from Oviedo, my man, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you again as well. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, there's been a lot on my mind. I mean, to be frank, I completely forgot you guys switched time slots, and I've actually called into the wrong time a few times to realize that you switched.
We've been wondering.
We appreciate you calling in. Did they answer your question?
Yeah, so I've been a little busy. I have now taken on my daughter's softball team, so I'm actually managing my own team, and all my free time has gone out the window. I have not been able to catch up too much on UCF sports, unfortunately. But I do have a question for you. It's going to be a multiple-choice question. Since it's game week, finally, versus Boise, if the game is going to end, what are the three possibilities that's going to happen? Is it going to be a defensive stop, turnover on downs, a last-minute or following drive where it's a touchdown, or is it a last-second field goal to win the game?
Oof. Well, I hope not. Andrew, I hope that it's not going to be any of that stuff just because, I want to be way ahead by the time the game's ending. I mean, is this like a situation like a sudden death kind of thing, like where it's that or the other team wins the game? Is that the scenario here?
Basically, it would be this. If we win, assuming it's not a blowout, which one do you think is most likely to happen?
Okay.
It's only a 5-point spread, so it's going to be close.
Oh, I hope not.
It's going to be close if the spread holds true.
Yeah, if the spread holds true, yes.
Can you quickly say those choices again? I kind of didn't catch them all.
All right. Basically, the 2-minute drive, touchdown, a defensive stop or turnover on downs, or a game-winning field goal.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the defensive stop, but just for the record, I don't think it's going to come down to that. But if it comes down to that they're driving down and we have to stop them to win the game, I think our defense is going to do it. I think their quarterback's going to get sacked and fumble the ball or something, and it'll be over. Ben, go ahead with yours.
Well, I can tell you the one I don't want, and I don't want it to come down to a field goal for reasons I stated earlier. But that being said, I think I agree with you, Andrew. I think the defensive stop is probably the most likely to happen of those situations, mainly because I think if this game's going to be close, it's not like we're going to be coming from. I just don't see us trying to come from behind and try to put together a 2-minute drive to win it. But that may be my bias, but I think it's probably most likely to be the defensive stop, and I hope it's not a field goal.
Well, for me, I tend to agree with the panel here. So for me, I think we're going to lead the game and keep our foot on their throats. I don't think we have to worry about what we did in the past with Josh Heupel taking his foot off the gas and people catching up, which would lead, for me, probably to the defensive stop. So at this point, I think it's the defensive stop amongst the three options, but I hope it's none of the above.
All right, there you go. I hope that answers your question. Andrew, are you going to be at the game this week?
Absolutely. Got my tickets, and I'm ready to go.
All right, well, you know where I'm at, so come see me, my friend.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right. Well, thank you, Andrew from Oviedo, for calling. He didn't realize what time we were on, and I think there's quite a few people that don't realize what time we're on. So I guess I probably need to do a little bit better job at advertising that. So it is what it is. But thank you for calling. I don't want to see either one of those scenarios. I want to be in the lead comfortably and see our backup quarterback in the fourth quarter. That's what I would really like.
Well, I'll add this. I'm okay with a defensive stop as long as we have a comfortable lead once we get there, right? So if that's what ends the game, great. But I'm hoping Dylan Gabriel's lighting it up with Flash and with O'Keefe and Brandon Johnson and all those guys. I'm hoping Bowser's blowing down through their second levels, and, he's not going to outrun anybody, but I'm hoping he's
I don't know that he's not going to outrun anybody.
You think?
He's a fast guy for the size. You haven't watched his film, have you?
I've watched some of it at Washington, yeah.
At Washington.
Or not Washington.
Northwestern?
Northwestern.
Yeah, he's a pretty quick guy for the size that he has, so I bet he'll get away. Once he gets away, I think, yeah, okay. Well,
I'm more interested in him KOing some guys on the way down.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'd love to see that. I think we're going to run a lot in this game. I just have a feeling that Gus is going to try to wear them out with the run game, and I'm happy with that. Obviously, he's going to let Dylan Gabriel do his thing, but I have a feeling there's going to be more running plays than passing plays, just personally.
I think, I think UCF fans, all of us, need to be just a little bit more prepared for a smarter balance in the way that, between run and pass in this offense than what we've been accustomed to over the last couple of years. And, there was actually, decent balanced number of plays wise in Heupel's offense, but I think I agree with you. The creativity of the runs, I think, are going to be a little bit at a higher caliber, and that's going to set up the pass just so much better. I'm looking forward to seeing that type of balance. Like, just kind of everything we've seen so far out of Gus and his staff has just been kind of next level, and I'm looking forward to that, coming onto the field, especially through our offense, and just how it's going to be different moving forward.
Yeah, it's not going to be O'Leary ball. We're not going back to Ronnie Weaver up the middle 15 times in a row. It's not going to be that, but I would expect to have a heavy run game. And like you said, for those guys to be going all different directions. I mean, I feel like Gus is going to do a lot of things that the other coaches haven't done. I mean, and he'll take shots too. He's always taken shots. So if it's there, and they could be on the first play or the 15th play,
Well, Frost, when he was most successful, it's when he had a two-back set. And I will say he wasn't the most successful in Nebraska this week, but we aren't talking about that this week.
Yeah, we are. I think it was freaking hilarious. I saw a picture of him with a McDonald's shirt on afterwards behind the counter.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's where he belongs.
But going back, when Frost was running the offense, it was a two-back set. His offense actually had a lot of Gus's offense sprinkled in. We know that we were running two-back sets with Harvey back there as well. So in between, if you go back to that style of play where you have Dylan Gabriel as a threat, you have a running back as a threat, let's say it's Johnny Richardson as a threat, right? And then you have Bowser back there. That's super dangerous, and you can play a lot of passing game off of that. But if they're going all in on the run and they don't know which area they're going to have to cover, whether that's left, if it's going to the left, if it's going to the right, or if we're running through the center, that's a lot for a defense to cover and opens up a lot of the other options that we have on the field. So I expect to see more of that, which is good because percentage-wise, the two-back set formations was 100. I think it was like a 75% higher rate of yards than it was. I'm pulling back from my brain when the Frost years, but it was I think it was 75% higher yielding yards when we played two back sets versus any other set that we had at that time.
Roger's saying 60% of the time it worked every time.
Every single time.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I like the two-back sets. We could see even more than that, I think, with Gus. Gus can do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I think he's going to. I wouldn't put past anything for Gus, to be honest with you. He's calling the plays again. He's already said that. He hasn't done that in a few years, so I think he's going to be excited about it. I think we're still going to come out and play fast. I don't think we'll play as fast, or maybe we'll play faster. You never know. So I'm looking forward to the weird nuances though that Gus Malzahn brings into it, because that's kind of what he's known for. He's known for doing some kind of weird stuff, having trick plays, not really fitting the status quo and doing things to confuse people and all kinds of stuff. Who knows? Maybe, he trots 2 quarterbacks out onto the field. I wouldn't put anything past him in this one. I think he really wants to get going with this. Obviously, this is his, first game at a new school. I think he's going to be excited and I hope that he doesn't hold back. I definitely do not want to see what someone mentioned earlier about, taking the foot off the gas and stuff like that. But I don't think that he will. I just don't think that that's his style to, take the foot off the gas when you know that you don't have the win easily in hand. I think that was a rookie mistake by Heupel over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, this is his revenge tour, so I expect he's going to be trying to prove a point this season. The biggest question for me, and whether he surprises us or not, do you guys think he's going to bring back the sweater vest at UCF?
It's a little hot to do that. I mean, maybe in the winter time.
Chance.
I mean, maybe in the winter we go. Where do we go late in the season? We probably go to. Don't we go to
Cincy?
That's not horrible. That's like October, isn't it? Something
cold.
like that.
It gets cold up there in October.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure he will. That's his thing. That's his style. Why wouldn't he? I mean,
Yeah. No chance in this game when it's going to be probably 90 degrees at kickoff.
No, but he's probably going to have. Is he going to have the visor on, or is he going to have that?
It'll be the visor. I'm guessing.
He seems to be wearing that full brimmed hat.
I don't think he'll wear. He won't wear that like that. I don't know what you call it, old man yard hat.
Yeah, you kind of can't do that with the headphones, right?
Yeah, he won't. It'll be the visor, I'm pretty sure. It'll just be exciting to see Gus Malzahn standing on our sideline.
It'll be a visor and a really bad Nike polo shirt.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
I think what you talked about earlier that I just want to hit on there, Andrew, is how, like, if we get the lead, if we're able to secure the lead, how is Gus going to manage that? And I think that's just where we're going to see that experience, come through. And we talked about earlier about the balance that we're going to see in this offense. I mean, I think that's where, in a very smart and creative way, just so he'll continue to, have either, whether it be short passes or just, creative runs, still put the foot on the gas, but, use a little bit of clock, where it just seemed so unnatural when any of Heupel's teams had to kind of slow it down. It just seemed like they were just slowing down they just stopped themselves, right? It wasn't a slow down. It was like a stop. And it felt awkward even watching it at times because of, the team was just so not used to doing that. So that's going to be an interesting a wrinkle to see in this offense.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take our last break, and we'll be right back on Knightline at Night.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this.
We need to stop blaming Jerry because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys?
My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong, spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Yeah. Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated. Because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night with you. I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law. Going to get to our Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, we are going to turn in our Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week to our game predictions. I think that's the right way to do it, so we're going to do that. Let's let Ben go first. Ben, what is your prediction for this game?
First off, love Tijuana Flats. Had it this week. It's awesome. Secondly, I'll say that it might be a little back and forth in the first half. I know I'm a homer, but I feel like we're going to be able to pull away in this game, and I just feel like we're going to be too much for even their defense that returns a lot of starters. I'm going 43-28 UCF.
All righty. Sounds good, Roger.
That's pretty solid.
Off with a bang.
That's pretty solid. Yeah, no, I'd love to say it's 72-28, but I think that's a little too hot of a take. But for my Tijuana Flats hot take of the week, I'm going to go with 38-28 good guys.
All righty. Well, I'm going to go with an 8 as well. I'm going to go 48-32.
Wow.
For UCF. I think that we're going to put some points on the board, and we're going to do it just like that, 48-32. So, Ben, have you got the calculator going or whatever you need to do over there to keep track of this? Somebody's keeping track.
I got it, man. I'm taking the notes, so we're gonna track it. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, I got everything down.
And we need to keep stats throughout the season to see who's ahead, who's behind, who was more right, who was more wrong, all that stuff.
I'm gonna track it on a spreadsheet. It'll be fun.
There you go. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So obviously looking forward to this game. 7:00 on Thursday evening on ESPN from the Bounce House. Still no name on the side of the Bounce House.
Wah.
Yeah, got taken back again this week. I think they're having some issues with a roof company again. So not only not a roof on the Bounce House, but then not a name on the side either. So I'm good with neither one of those personally. I'm still waiting for Elon Musk from SpaceX. Somebody needs to send him the picture of the rocket going off from the 50-yard line, basically, and let him know how beautiful that could be to have his name on the side of our
SpaceX
stadium.
Stadium just has an awesome ring to it.
It does, with that logo on the side. Oh, man.
It's better than Blank Square Stadium.
Yeah.
Insert name here, stadium.
We could go Blank Stare Stadium for the stare guy that we used to have there as a student.
He's probably gone by now, but hopefully. That was pretty bad. But
I mean, it's been over. I missed all of last season as far as going to home games, guys. I just can't wait to be with you guys and tailgating and just having a good time of the game and be with all of Night Nation. It's just going to be awesome to watch this game in person and really enjoy UCF football again.
What's the over-under on one of our group, not us, but one of our group, one of the people in our group not making it into the stadium? Because tailgating is back in full effect.
I'll take the over.
Whatever the line is set at, I'll
plus
take the
1,000.
I think somebody won't make it into the stadium, but it's not going to be me. I'll be there, whether I remember what happens in the first quarter or not.
Falling up the stadium as opposed to falling
Absolutely.
down.
Luckily, my seats are fairly low for this one, so it's all good. I only have to walk up a few stairs. So,
all right.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. There's nothing like UCF football. There's nothing like UCF tailgating. I don't care what anybody says. I would implore you, if you're new to the area or have never been to a UCF game and you have nothing to do on Thursday night, come out and see UCF play against Boise State. This is one of the biggest games for the G5, I think, possibly ever. As far as just the two powerhouses of the G5 over history meeting each other. So this could be a really, really good game. It's going to be on ESPN in prime time, the 7 o'clock game, which is the game on ESPN on Thursday nights. So it's going to be a big deal. So hopefully you all will get out there and do that. All right. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you at the game. Go Knights.
Charge on.
Charge on.